Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully I can bang out a quick video. I've been just churning out these videos, and I got another one in the pipe actually that I just took on my phone. It's a gun-related one, and it's really stupid, but I mean, part of my philosophy for this channel is like just to put out as much content as I can, and I figure if I get one day 1,000 videos and each one gets one view in a day, that means I'm getting 1,000 views in a day. That's probably a wrong way to look at it. It probably doesn't work that way. I mean, it does work that way, but old videos I don't think get that many views. But at any rate, so let's talk about the Dual Sense 5. That's what this video is about. Sony unveiled the controller. They didn't unveil the console yet. They unveiled the controller, and I have a few thoughts on it. And I have a few thoughts, as usual, on the PlayStation fanboy shenanigans. First, let's look at the controller. Here it is. And my first thought is a few things. I see it from a fanboy perspective, first and foremost. So my first thing is, it copies the Xbox controller. Now, pretty blatantly. But hey, Sony knows the Xbox controller is better, so they copy what they know is better. And if you look at it over the years, Sony has always copied what Microsoft led with. Let's take, for example, trophies. Trophies never used to be a thing. Microsoft had achievements. Everybody realized that, hey, achievements are cool. So Sony copied them some years later and came out with trophies, which are just a different version of achievements. What's a case of Sony copying Microsoft? PlayStation copying Xbox. I'll give you another example. Xbox Live, it wasn't free. You had to pay $50 a year. Microsoft started that. Sony PlayStation was always free, and the PlayStation fanboys always used to brag, oh, it's free. You shouldn't have to pay off on the online. And a few years later, Sony quietly copied Microsoft, and PSN costs money now. Shock. And of course, all the Sony fanboys that bashed Microsoft all those years for charging for it changed their tune really fast, and they said, oh, internet should always be free. Except when Sony does it. And I remember back then their rationale, they always have some BS reasoning, was, oh, well, so Sony's giving us these free games with PS Plus, so it's okay, but you know, whatever the reason, they were always going to make up some reason why it's okay for Sony to do the same thing Microsoft did, that they criticized Microsoft for endlessly, but it was okay when Sony did it. So what do I think about the controller? I do, as a gamer, I do kind of like, I think it's definitely copying the Xbox controller more, which I think the Xbox controller is the best controller there is. And one of the main reasons I'm an Xbox gamer, at this point it's just grained in me, I'm just a fanboy. I always go for Xbox because I've just dyed in the wool at this point. But one thing that is very true is that I'm always yawning when I make these videos, because it's late at night, almost midnight here. I've never liked the PlayStation controller, and I never liked the symmetrical sticks, where they're just across from each other. It just doesn't, it's not natural. I don't like it. I don't think anybody really does. I think only fanboys defend it because, of course, they have to defend their product. And if Sony turned around and made the sticks non-symmetrical tomorrow, like Xbox, they'd be defending that. So I think that's the main. I really don't like that. I really don't like that about PlayStation controller. I have a hard time with PlayStation controller. Maybe it's because of years of Xbox controller. I don't know. But really, I think everybody agrees. Like if you made any, like Nintendo when they made the Pro controller, it has offset. It looks like an Xbox. Every other controller I can really think of uses offset controllers. I think Stadia's controller does. You know what I mean? It's just not normal to have sticks like the PlayStations. They're the only one that does it at this point. I think Nvidia Shield controller would be offset. Everything's like Xbox controller in relation to the analog sticks. I'm not talking about anything else. at any rate, so that's my main problem with PlayStation controller. But you also have to admit, ergonomically, it is kind of a piece of crap compared to the Xbox, and this does change that. It's like too lame, non-ergonomic handles, and this thing does change that to the extent. Like from this angle, it really looks like an Xbox controller. I mean, that looks like an Xbox controller. I think they lengthened out and made triggers now, which they used to have just shoulder buttons. That's good because their shoulder buttons were lame. And, yeah, so naturally they just made it look a whole lot more like an Xbox controller. And they copied the Xbox. And it looks like a lot fuller. Like it used to be slim and non-ergonomic and just have like handles. And now it looks more full and more like an Xbox controller again. And so that's good, I think. But I really don't like the symmetrical sticks, and they kept those. So that's a big problem for me. But let me tell you what. Fanboyism aside, I really do like about this controller. And like I said, it's totally me putting my fanboyism aside. And I'll get back to the fanboyism in a minute. But what I really do like, and I think this is going to be a revolution. I got my mouse over it. The microphone. This is an awesome idea. This is fantastic. And I've thought that a console should do this forever. And I believe that this is going to become the standard in very short order. I believe within a year or two, Microsoft is going to be forced to go redesign the Xbox controller and put this type of a microphone in. I believe this is a game changer. Why do I think this? Well, for one, Alexa has kind of... Oh, great. It's going to think I was talking to it. Hopefully it didn't pick that up. The the Amazon Assistant has really made its way into my life in the last 2 to 3 years. And I can't say it's all happy because a lot of times I'm really mad because it doesn't pick up what I'm saying. And Alexa, stop listening. I think that's a command that works, right? So I just told my Alexa to stop listening so that hopefully I can say Alexa a bunch of times in the next few minutes. Yeah, I've really gotten Alexa into my house, and they're cool. They're awesome in a way. They make me feel like I'm living in the future, like I can speak to the computer like they do in Star Trek, I always thought that was... And it's really, like, in a lot of ways, it's really useful for a lot of things. But it's also really maddening because it doesn't understand what you're saying. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way because I've seen other people yell at their Alexas. I was on Xbox Live once and a guy was just, like, yelling at his Alexa, and I totally know what he means. Like, it's very annoying sometimes. I don't know why. It's really frustrating, Alexa is. But if you tell it, because it doesn't hear you correctly half the time, it's just frustrating. And until you, like, deal with it, you don't understand. So I have kind of a love-hate relationship with Alexa. I do like it, and I probably would hate if I didn't have it. And the main thing that I use it for that I couldn't live without is I got one of those Wi-Fi thermostats, and I use Alexa to control my thermostat. And I'm like an insomniac. I don't sleep well, and I'm like really sensitive to temperature when I'm laying in bed. So what I can do is with just in bed, I can easily change my thermostat because I can just tell it. I got an Alexa on my nightstand. I can be like, hey Alexa, change the thermostat to whatever temperature. If I'm a little hot, which will happen, it always happens, or not always, but a lot of times it'll happen. I get hot, I get cold as I'm laying in bed, so I can't sleep. So before I would have had to get up, walk all the way to the thermostat and manually change it. Now I can just say, hey Alexa, change the thermostat to whatever. It's actually not that easy. That's another thing. It's annoying. You have to tell it like what to set the thermostat to. Well, you can, whatever it's set to, you have to change. Anyways. But so anyways, I've gotten kind of into Alexa, and I like a lot of the potential and a lot of things you can do with it. And it also frustrates me a lot because of its lack of being able to understand you. But so this microphone, you could use it like Alexa, in my opinion. You could tell your console to do things like take a screenshot or whatever the case may be. And I'm telling you, it'll be pretty cool. Or you could say, like, go to the store. You could say, PlayStation, go to the store. Or whatever you may. PlayStation, pause the game, if that's a thing. Do they even pause games anymore? Or do you just suspend them and go to the OS? I don't even know. Even though I play games all the time. PlayStation, do this. PlayStation, or, Xbox, whatever it may be. So I think that's really big, just that can be like an Alexa. But here's the real killer app of it. I play this game called Destiny. I guess obviously, or I don't know if you may not know, or I used to. I've pretty much quit for like the last. I go on like spurts of playing and then stopping. And right now I'm kind of disenchanted with the game. I haven't played it in like a couple months. But and I'm trying to stay away because whenever I play it, I tend to not do anything else with my life. So but so many times I'd play that game and like let's say I would just get a nice group going, or a little group, let's say, and it was so annoying. Just some of these little things that's really annoying. To have to dig out my stupid microphone, put it on my head, plug it in, and that means I have to keep it on my coffee table all the time. And I don't have a coffee table with a drawer. I have like a little coffee table with like 2 shelves, like a top and a bottom shelf is all. So I just put it on the bottom shelf so it's not so, notice. It's just clutter. It's annoying and I hate it. It's a little thing, but I honestly hate it. I don't even know why. I hate it like 10 times more than you would think such a thing would bother me. I don't know why. Just the clutter of it. And let's say I wanted to do some relatively simple content. And I just, like a Nightfall. I don't know if you play that game, but it's pretty easy to blast through. Let's say just a 100K Nightfall or something. But you need a group. So you got to go on. Xbox has a looking for group feature built into the console. It's real easy. But a lot of people, they'll want to have a mic, even though you don't really need one. Just to kind of check in with you, you'll just say, hey, whatever. You may not even talk hardly the whole level. You just blast through it, and you're done. But I hate having to drag out my stupid mic for that thing. Even though it's just a little mic and everything. I use the stock Microsoft one. I don't use like a big bulky one. I hate it. And this solves that. You could just talk into this thing. If it has far field voice recognition. Actually, Sony said that they're going to use it for that, so it's already known. This is a game changer in my opinion. Just being able to, and like they said in their blog post, I think, you'll still be able to plug in a mic for longer conversations. So let's say in Destiny there'd be a raid. You may be in a raid for an hour and a half, possibly. That's the case where you'd probably want to plug in your mic and get dedicated, like better quality, and you get the chat piped into your ear, and your mic wouldn't be picking up all kinds of noises around you and annoying other people. So for that, you might want the microphone, the dedicated mic. But just for short term, like, hey, what's going on, buddy? Let's do this Nightfall or whatever. For that kind of stuff, and then maybe not talk to the person again for 10 minutes. This mic is going to be great. Great. I can't stress how amazing this is. Oh, like I wish Xbox had it already for Destiny. And I'm sure it has like a mute button so you can just mute it and then kind of maybe like hold it up to your face a little bit when you want to make sure you're talking clear. Of course you couldn't play super hard with it. But I mean, when you were holding it up to your face, but you could, like I said, I talk to Alexa all the time without it close to me. I'm sure this can do a similar thing. And why didn't Microsoft do this? I don't know. Because this is one of the best ideas that I've wanted in a controller for a long time. And Microsoft really lost it by not putting that in. Well, I predict, especially when they had all that tech in Kinect, I predict Microsoft will be forced to copy this in like 1 year. This is a game changer in my opinion. And just the fact that every controller has this, so you don't even really have to buy a mic. So there's going to be so much more communication and chat in games now because of this. Because every controller has that ability. Oh, it's just brilliant. Not brilliant, but more of like, why didn't everybody do this before? Because I've been talking about this on forums that I want this for like years. So, that's my non-fanboy rant. Now I'm going to go back to being a fanboy. First of all, I don't know what this thing is with PlayStation fanboys lately. That they're so excited about. They get a lot of Twitter likes. They get a lot of Instagram likes. Look at this. Here's on Reset Era or Sony Fanboy Central. Where is it? Dual Sense 5 post on course to beat the most liked gaming post on Instagram. So what they're talking about is the DualSense 5 was posted on the PlayStation Instagram, and it got spread all over social media, and it got like 5 million likes or something, or 3.2 actually. And they're making this big deal out of it, and they've been doing this with every PS5 news lately, and it's so annoying because for one thing, they cherry pick everything. Like a lot of these Xbox posts get almost as many likes or more. Like they were making a big deal out of one of their videos on one forum I go to. Some PlayStation video got like 2 million views, and I was like, and, they make it sound like, oh, this is the most popular thing. And I went and looked at some related, like the Xbox Series X unveil, and it got like way more views, and nobody talked about it. I don't know what this new kick Sony fanboys are on. They're so insufferable anyway, but this new thing about, oh, we had so many who cares? I guess you don't have teraflops, so your new thing is Instagram likes. I made this little post. This is all I hear from Sony fanboys all the time is, oh, we have all the games. Oh, we don't care about the teraflops anymore. We have the games. Oh, LOL at you Xbox guys. You don't even understand that it's about the games when all they care about is beating Xbox from day one. So that's pretty funny that they would talk about it being about the games. No, the only games that count are the games that are exclusive, so that you can hate Xbox with them. Like if you were about the games, you'd be about all the games, including the third-party games, and not artificially make such a huge hubbub over a PlayStation exclusive like you do. There's only one reason you do that, because you can use it as a war against Xbox, like we have this game and you don't. Not that you like the game. I mean, I've covered this in my video 20 times, but the number one example of that was when Final Fantasy 13 had already been shown for like a year, and then they announced it for Xbox 360, and Sony fanboys were just apoplectic and just dismayed, and it was like, dudes, it's the same game they've already showed. Like, so now because it's on a different piece of plastic, all of a sudden it's dead to you? Like, what is wrong? It's not about the games, the PlayStation fanboys. It's about what platform they play on. And you can say it's the same way for Xbox fanboys, but no. First of all, there's far less Xbox fanboys. And anybody who doesn't obviously realize that is a nut, and it's not acceptable. Like, you're being willfully blind if you don't immediately admit that PlayStation fanboys outnumber Xbox fanboys at least 10 to 1 on the internet. At least. Anyways, so yeah, I just thought that was funny. Their new thing, they're always talking about games. Oh, the games. Well, apparently what PlayStation really has is Instagram likes. I mean, go figure. That's what, you don't have the teraflops, and apparently you don't have the games now, because Last of Us 2, your only game, was delayed for a year or whatever it is. So now it's all about Instagram and Twitter likes. It's the new annoying Sony PlayStation thing. I wanted to point this out. They were making such a big deal. It just took me 2 seconds. I Googled up the PlayStation Instagram. Okay, let's post this. Let me refresh it. It's 3.4 million likes now. 3.5 million likes. I went to Xbox. Now, here's the thing. The Xbox hasn't, of course this is going to have more likes, because this is like an all-new controller, okay? Xbox doesn't have an all-new controller. It has like the same controller, and it made like a little tweak to the D-pad or whatever. It's the same controller. At least it looks the same. So of course it's not going to get hyped like this. Second of all, I don't deny that PlayStation worldwide is a more popular brand than Xbox. Worldwide, it's PS4 outsold Xbox One 2 to 1. Xbox 360 at least tied PS3, if not beat it. But all the poor places in Europe go for PlayStation. We know in the US they're much closer, but in the worldwide, and in Japan, they only like PlayStation. They're kind of xenophobes, if I do say so. They won't buy an American console. They wouldn't even buy the Sega Genesis, because Sega was at one point an American company, even though it later became a Japanese company. That was apparently just tainted by their Americanness. They wouldn't buy the Sega Genesis. The Mega Drive, as it was called, was popular in Europe and everywhere else, but no, the Japanese just shunned it because it wasn't even an American company. It at one time was an American company. Anyways, So it has 3.5 million. So I looked at Xbox, see if like, okay, these posts have a lot of likes, but not that many. But of course they don't. I mean, like this one only had 159. You know, this one had 750. This one, these were plays. This one only had 253. I mean, these are comparable. But this just got spread around because it's a new controller. You know, it's the first change of the PlayStation controller in like 20 years. You know, literally. I mean, pretty much since whatever the PS3 had, wasn't it? Or the PS, yeah. What did the PS2 look like? I don't think they've mainly changed much since PS2, to be honest. So, of course it's going to get a lot. And I was looking at the Xbox, you don't have to go very far. Look, this one, I think it was showing the new controller or something. I don't even know. It had 3.4 million, not likes, but plays. Okay? And this is just a video, though. It's a lot harder to watch a video than to just click like on a thing. So this is like 3 times as much, really, because it requires a lot more effort. You know, liking a... Look at this, has 2,441 comments. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, it's stupid. And yes, I know that, this just went viral, you know, the PlayStation thing. So what? And, you know, like, again, I don't understand why you're so worried about it, PlayStation fanboys. What is your point? Why do you like to just... Everything has to be a war, and everything has to be, oh, we got the most likes, and really, you're only thinking about Xbox. You ain't worried about Nintendo, that's for sure. And, yeah, I mean, I thought you were about the games, right? Sony fanboys, haha, good joke there. They're about Xbox. And, so yeah, that's all I got on it. Those are my likes, my dislikes. Oh, and I wanted another thing about the controller is people have already shown it in black. Well, of course, it looks even more like an Xbox controller, but it looks good in black, I will say. It looks much better than the white. And so that's all I got on the Dual Sense, I guess. I think the mic is a game changer, and I expect the Xbox will have to copy it. Like I said, probably like within a year. It will be standard on Xbox controllers as well, in my opinion. And but overall, it looks like they just copied the Xbox controller, and I don't like the symmetrical sticks, and those stayed. And Sony fanboys need to get over their new obsession with, oh, we got the most Instagram likes. You know, I thought it was about games, Sony fanboys. Yesterday it was about games. Now it's about the most Instagram likes. Huh. You know, and you don't have the most teraflops, and that's... So I guess now it's about the most Instagram likes. Alright, that's my vid. Keep tuned. I'm going to be making a lot of vids as I have been. This quarantine time, I can make vid after vid after vid after vid.